A young girl named Sona pulled at the donkey's rope with all her strength, her small hands aching as the stubborn one refused to budge. Frustration welled up inside her. "Why won't you listen?" she muttered through clenched teeth. The morning sun painted the sky in soft shades of orange, and a cool breeze rustled through the trees. But Sona barely noticed. Her mind filled with frustration, the same feeling she always had, like she was trying to move forward, but couldn't. Master Rowan, the old monk, watched from nearby, leaning on his wooden staff. His eyes, wise and knowing, held no judgment, only patience. Sona sighed and finally let go of the rope, turning to the monk. "Master, why is this donkey so stubborn?" she asked, frustration lacing her voice. The monk gave a small smile and asked, "Why do you think it won't move?" Sona frowned. "Because it doesn't want to. Because it's lazy. Because it doesn't see the point." Master Rowan nodded thoughtfully. "And do you ever feel the same way?" Sona blinked, taken aback. She hesitated, then lowered her gaze. "Yes," she admitted softly. She clenched her fists. "That's why I came to you, Master. I want to change. I want to be strong, to achieve something, but I always stop halfway. I start learning new things, but I quit when it gets hard. I make promises to myself, but I break them. I feel stuck, like I'm dragging this donkey through my own life." She paused before continuing, her voice quieter now. "I don't want to live like this forever. I want to be better. I just don't know how." Master Rowan studied her for a long moment before speaking. "You wish for change, Sona, but you are trying to force yourself forward, just like you force this donkey. You pull and pull, hoping that sheer willpower will be enough. But willpower fades. The real secret is not forcing movement, but learning to flow." Sona frowned. "Flow? What do you mean?" The monk turned, motioning for her to follow. "Come, let me show you something." And with that, the old monk, the stubborn donkey, and the determined young girl set off on a journey that would change her life forever. The three of them, Sona, the monk, and the donkey, walked down a path. Soon they reached a river. It wasn't calm. It rushed over rocks, twisting and turning, carving deep into the land. It looked powerful. Master Rowan pointed at the water. "Tell me, Sona, do you think this river is strong?" Sona nodded. "Yes, Master. It shapes mountains and carves valleys. Nothing stops it." The monk smiled and asked, "Why do you think that is?" Sona thought for a moment. "Because it keeps flowing. It never stops." "Exactly. It moves with purpose. It doesn't wait, doesn't hesitate. It is disciplined." He paused, then continued. "The river does not complain about the rocks in its way. It finds a way around them. It does not stop because the path is hard. It keeps flowing, carving a way forward. It does not question if it should move. It knows that movement is life." Sona listened carefully as the monk knelt by the water, running his fingers through the cold stream. People who wait for the right moment, the right mood, or the perfect conditions, they never move forward. But those who flow, like this river, achieve great things. They may start small, but over time, they carve mountains. He looked at Sona. "Tell me, child, do you want to be like this river? Or do you wish to be like still water trapped in a pond, waiting for something to change?" Sona's heart raced as she stared at the endless flow of the river. Master Rowan turned to the donkey, which stood lazily, flicking its tail at the buzzing flies. It chewed on some grass, completely unaware of the lesson unfolding around it. "And what about him?" the monk asked, his voice calm yet thoughtful. Sona frowned. "He's the opposite of the river, Master. He moves when he wants, stops when he wants. He doesn't listen, doesn't think ahead. He doesn't know where he's going." Master Rowan nodded, his gaze fixed on the donkey. "Yes. The donkey follows its impulses. It stops because it feels tired. It moves only when it pleases. If the road is difficult, it refuses to walk. If a distraction appears, it chases after it, forgetting its original path. He sighed. And so the donkey remains stuck. It goes nowhere, achieving nothing. Sona looked at the donkey again. She had never thought about it that way before. The monk continued. Many people live like this donkey. They wait for motivation to strike before they act. They only move when life is easy, and the moment they face a challenge, they stop. They get distracted by comfort, by fear, by doubt, always starting, never finishing. He placed a gentle hand on the donkey's back. But success does not come to those who move only when they feel like it. Success comes to those who move forward, even when they don't feel like it. Sona's eyes widened as the monk's words settled in her mind. Master Rowan then gestured to the river. Look at the difference. The river flows without waiting for permission. It doesn't stop to question if it should move. It simply moves. It does not complain that the journey is hard. It simply carves its path. Then he looked at Sona with kind but firm eyes. Tell me, child. Which do you want to be? The wandering donkey, who stops when things are tough, or the river, which moves forward no matter what stands in its way? Sona swallowed hard. She had never thought about life like this before. She had been like the donkey, waiting for the right time, waiting to feel ready, stopping when things got difficult. Now she saw the truth. Discipline was the key. Master Rowan saw the understanding in Sona's eyes. He smiled gently, knowing that the seed of wisdom had been planted. A person without discipline, he said, is like this donkey, drifting, stopping, unsure where to go. But a disciplined person is like the river, always moving forward, always carving a path. Sona took a deep breath. I want to be like the river, Master. But how do I start? I have tried before, but I always lose my way. The monk nodded. Discipline is not about doing something once. It is about doing it every day, even when you do not feel like it. He looked at the river and then back at Sona. Let me give you 3 simple steps to follow. Step 1. Start small, but start now. This river did not start as a mighty force. It began as a trickle, a small stream, but it did not wait to become big before it started moving. He turned to Sona. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for the perfect moment. But the river does not wait for the right season, the right mood, or the right conditions. It simply starts. If you wish to be disciplined, take the first step today, no matter how small. Sona thought about all the times she had told herself she would begin tomorrow. Step 2. Be consistent, even when it's hard. Look at this river, Sona. It flows every day. It does not stop because it is tired. It does not rest because it feels lazy. It moves because that is its nature. He stood up and faced her. Discipline means doing something every day, whether you feel like it or not. If you practice for even 10 minutes, but do it every day, you will become stronger than someone who works hard for a week and then stops. Sona realized this was where she had always struggled. She worked hard for a few days, then stopped the moment things became difficult. Step 3. Flow around obstacles, not against them. Master Rowan picked up a rock and tossed it into the river. The water simply moved around it. A fool fights against the rock. The wise person flows around it. There will be challenges, the monk said. You will feel tired. You will feel like quitting. You will face distractions. When these moments come, do not stop. Find another way. If one path is blocked, take another. But never stop moving forward. The monk looked at her with a kind smile and said, You do not have to be perfect. You only have to start. Sona nodded, feeling the truth of his words. She looked down at the donkey, which had finally started following her without resistance. If a stubborn donkey could learn, so could she. And from that day forward, she did.